It's the 4th of July 2025. In the Texas Hill Country, the Guadalupe River is a popular escape from the summer heat, but in the pre-dawn hours, something is going terribly wrong. The river is not just rising, it is exploding. In the time it takes to brew a pot of coffee, the water level surges by more than 25 feet. A gentle holiday stream transforms into a 30-foot wall of water, moving with unimaginable force. This is the story of how a summer celebration became a catastrophe, minute by terrifying minute. To understand what happened, you first have to understand the land itself. Central Texas is known as Flash Flood Alley, and for good reason. The picturesque steep hills and shallow, arid soil do not absorb water, they repel it. During a heavy storm, rain funnels into creeks and rivers almost instantly, turning them into violent torrents. It is one of the most flood-prone regions in the entire United States, a place where history has repeatedly shown that the water can turn deadly in a heartbeat. On July 3rd, the remnants of Tropical Storm Barry drifted north from Mexico, carrying a deep reservoir of tropical moisture. This moisture collided with a stalled weather system over central Texas, creating a meteorological powder keg. Thunderstorms erupted and refused to move, dumping rain at an astonishing rate. In just a few hours, some areas received the equivalent of 4 months of rainfall. The National Weather Service saw it coming. They issued escalating warnings, with one bulletin predicting considerable to catastrophic flash flood impacts. The stage was set for a disaster of historic proportions. The numbers tell a story of almost unbelievable speed. At 4:03 a.m., on July 4th, a flash flood emergency is issued for Hunt, Texas. An hour earlier, the river gauge there was at a normal level. By 4:05 a.m., it hits 21.99 feet, already in a major flood stage. An hour after that, just before the gauge is destroyed, it reads 37.52 feet and is still rising. Downstream in Kerrville, the river goes from less than 2 feet to over 34 feet in just 90 minutes. A massive, deadly wave of water is scouring the Guadalupe River Valley. Caught directly in this path is Camp Mystic, an all-girls Christian summer camp. For generations, it has been a place of friendship and tradition, but on this morning it becomes a scene of tragedy. The rapidly rising water gives little time to react. The camp, located where two branches of the Guadalupe meet, is inundated. Cabins are swept away. In the chaos, dozens of young girls and their counselors are lost to the torrent. The camp's director, Dick Eastland, dies trying to save them, turning a summer sanctuary into the epicenter of the tragedy. As the sun rises, the scale of the devastation becomes clear, and one of the largest rescue operations in Texas history begins. More than 2,000 volunteers pour into Kerr County. Swift water rescue teams, some from as far away as California and Louisiana, converge on the Guadalupe. A team of 13 firefighters and search and rescue canine units even arrives from Acuña, Oconaya, Mexico, putting aside political tensions to help. A single United States Coast Guard rescue swimmer, Scott Ruskin, is credited with personally saving 165 people, pulling them from rooftops and churning floodwaters in a heroic effort. Yet, amid the devastation in Kerr County, a different story unfolds just downriver in the town of Comfort in Kendall County. When the wall of water reached them, they were ready. Comfort had what Kerr County did not: a dedicated flood warning system. Linked to the National Weather Service, automated sirens are designed to wail when a flash flood emergency is declared. As the river surged, officials triggered those sirens, giving residents the crucial warning they needed to seek higher ground. The result: Comfort suffered no casualties. The system, which cost about $60,000, proved to be priceless. The contrast between Comfort and Kerr County is stark, and it raises a painful question. Why was not Kerr County prepared? Records show that 9 years earlier, in 2016, the county's sheriff advocated for a similar siren system. A county commissioner at the time even noted that their area was at the highest risk for flooding in the state. But the proposal was dismissed as too extravagant due to its cost and a lack of support from residents worried about false alarms. Grant requests for better equipment were later denied. The warnings were there not just on the night of the flood, but for nearly a decade. In the aftermath, officials pointed fingers. The head of Texas's Division of Emergency Management criticized the National Weather Service, claiming the forecasts never predicted the specific amount of rain that fell. But weather experts and former NOAA officials defended the forecast as accurate, pointing out that 22 escalating alerts were issued before the flood's peak. They suggested the real breakdown was in communication and a lack of local preparedness. Dispatch audio reveals a firefighter pleaded for countywide alerts at 4:22 a.m. It took another 90 minutes for the first automated message to go out, and for some, it arrived far too late. As rescuers searched for the missing, a different kind of flood was spreading online. Conspiracy theories, amplified by influencers and politicians, claimed the disaster was not a natural event, but an act of government weather control. The theories led to death threats against a cloud seeding company and a man vandalizing a weather radar tower in Oklahoma. It was a bizarre and dangerous sideshow to a real-world tragedy, complicating the response and sowing distrust when clear information was needed most. The 2025 Texas flood stands as the deadliest inland flood in the United States in nearly 50 years. It was a story of a ferocious storm, but also one of human decisions. It showed the heroism of first responders and the chilling consequences of inaction. The story of Comfort's sirens and Care County's silence provides a clear and sobering lesson. As extreme weather events become more common, the question is not if another flood like this will happen, but when, and whether the lessons from that tragic 4th of July have truly been learned.